Alright, y'all, I'm back for my last review of the night, which is Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and this episode was just fake. Like, we'll get into it, but the shit was super fake, especially Teairra's storyline. But I didn't review last week's, but I did catch pieces of the episode. I didn't miss much. But this week's episode starts off with Lyrica, Ray J, A1, Brooke, and Marcus are all out to a friend's dinner for which was supposed to be for Lyrica and A1 to announce their impending, offspring that's going to be making its way into this world. But Safari... Lyrica confronts Safari, like, did we or did we not hook up? And he starts stutter stepping, and, Safari has this way of dodging questions by, like, indirectly answering them. And Ray J then implies that A1's baby with Lyrica could be Safari's. Like, if they don't get down to the bottom of it, this could potentially be a paternity situation, which I thought was just shady because A1's supposed to be one of your friends, they're supposed to be bros and whatnot, and you're insinuating that one of your friends' wives is knocked up by another one of the friends, and you're doing it to these people's faces. Like, who needs friends when you have, or enemies when you have friends like Ray J? Safari went on this crazy melodramatic rant about how they need to leave him out of their relationship, and he tries to walk away. Well, A1 did this sumo squat, jump onto the table to try to get to him. And you guys, like, they be trying to get me to do these kind of, like, jumps at the gym, and I miss it every time. Like, A1, I underestimated you. You are in far better shape than I ever thought, because you have, like, a bit of a dad bod already. But, kudos to you. I don't have that kind of lower body strength. And he jumped right up on that table, but, I think Safari is lying. I don't think that, because, when Lyrica confronted him face to face and said, did we fuck, he would never directly answer the question. And I stand by my previous judgment, which is, I don't think they ever had sex, but I do think she entertained him inappropriately. And, Safari's shady ass says, yo, invite me to the baby shower, and he's just petty as fuck. But, A1's mad at Ray J. He's like, I don't see how you think that you're helping this situation. I don't understand how you call yourself a peacemaker in this, because you're not a peacemaker. Like, in fact, you're stirring this shit around. And off to the side, Brooke is confronting Lyrica, because Brooke is not buying it either. But I feel Brooke is very messy in this situation. Like, Lyrica is supposed to be your friend, right? And if I thought my friend was guilty of something, I wouldn't drop it either. Trust and believe, I wouldn't. I'd be like, girl, like, you can tell me the truth, and it will stay with us, I think. But, Brooke, you guys were friends prior, and you're one of the main people spreading Lyrica's business, true or not, in the streets. But she's not buying it. And again, like, who needs friends? Like, who needs enemies when you have friends like Brooke? She's acting like she's friends with this girl, and she's not really. So we get to Teairra's fake-ass storyline about Akbar really... You guys, like, I really don't even want to talk about this, but it was a major part of the episode, and it exhausts me. It exhausts me because it's so fake, and it's like, blatantly fake, and I feel almost disrespected as a viewer, like, because, first of all, I saw this unload on social media months ago, and back then, I thought the shit was fake. And back then, I was like, oh, this is going to be her storyline in this season of Love and Hip Hop. And lo and behold, here we are. But Akbar releases her sex tape. And Paris meets with Nikki. And they say, Teairra's been ghost ever since it hit the gram. She's nowhere to be found. And... Nikki's like, I don't really want to be involved with this whatsoever. Me and my family own businesses, and I can't be involved with the sex tape. And I'm just like, you and your family own strip clubs, so I'm confused. Like, how is Teairra's sex tape gonna tarnish your brand? But whatever. I just don't understand how people have not learned in 2018 not to record sex. Or at least if you're going to record sex, like if you're that, you know, hard pressed to voyeur your own sex, like, but sis, take that hard drive with you when you leave. Wasn't Mariah Carey like, in Touch My Body, she says, like, you know, if we gonna make a sex tape, it's gonna be, what is the lyric? How's the lyric go? I forget. But she does mention something like that in Touch My Body. I'm gonna get back to you guys on that. But I digress. The point that I'm making is, this day and age, why women and or men continue to make sex tapes and put them on iPhones on the cloud, where we know the cloud has been hacked before and people's sex tapes and photos have been leaked. And, you know, if it were me, first of all, I would never record sex for this reason. But if I did, that hard drive's leaving with me, and you will not get your fucking hands on it, like, ever. And, you know, I'm just like, was this before or after that you found out that this man had a harem full of women? Like, he clearly has no regard or respect for other women. So I don't know why Teairra thought this was a good idea in the first place, but, the shit is just fake to me. Like, you know, Akbar tells her he didn't do it, or he swears he didn't do it, because, oh, side note, Teairra threw a brick through his G-Wagon window, the windshield and one of the other windows. And she shows up, you know, he calls I don't even think the cops were there. All I saw in the scene was an executive producer, but I could be wrong. You guys let me know in the comments. Were the cops there or not? I can't recall. But Teairra shows up and she's like, yeah, you motherfucking right. I did throw a brick through the window. And I'm just like, if someone released a sex tape of me to the World Wide Web, the last thing I'd be doing is throwing brick. I mean, I would throw a brick through your window eventually, but off rip, I'd be in a corner somewhere crying. Like Funky Dineva said one time in one of his videos, I'd be sliding down the wall like a white woman in a Lifetime movie. Like I'd be somewhere losing my fucking mind. Like, there's just, like, she's not reacting to this the way a woman who just had her whole, I mean, in the tape, I saw it on the Shade Room, or one of those sites. Like, you know, it's her, and there's excretion on her face. I'm trying not to be too graphic, but, you know, it's her. I'd be devastated if I had nothing to do with this. And she's not crying. There's no tears. Even Kim Kardashian tried to act like she was devastated by the release of her sex tape. You know, they're not acting this very good. And he goes out on a limb, to which I'm prepared to believe that she released the tape herself. And I don't think she released the tape herself, but I certainly think that they made a plot to release it together. Teairra's storyline last season was the fact that she was a drunk. I was barely interested in that. She went to rehab or whatever and got her shit together. Well, after getting her shit together, she had no storyline. So to me, it makes sense that she met this dude. They may or may not have actually dated, but, you know, positively were fucking. They made this tape, decided to release it to get her some clout and to stay on the show, and that's what happened. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I think nothing otherwise. Just like a crazy nigga, he's like, but do you forgive me? Like, his story changed 50-11 times in this. I just, you know, it's not like a matter of I don't know who to believe. I don't believe either one of them. I think they're both fucking phony, and I think that they came up with this diabolical plan together. But, you know, he's just a thirsty, dirty nigga, and Teairra, you keep letting yourself, fake storyline aside, you keep letting yourself get taken for a ride by these men on this show. It started with Ray J, then you had Cisco in his sweatshirt, and now it's Akbar. You know, it's just like, when are you, like, oh god, then remember she had that terrible blazer line? Like, nobody is buying a line of blazers. Like, come on. Either she needs to get off the show, or she needs to start making music, or at least fucking somebody that we know. But we see JayWill / Candy and Moniece. He's, either rehearsing or, yeah, it looked like he was rehearsing. And, you know, of course, the talk of the town is the sex tape. And Teairra doesn't speak to Moniece anymore since the whole falling out when she was dating Cisco. And Moniece is kind of feeling sorry for her because the same thing happened to her. Remember, Princess, found Moniece's sex tape and had a viewing party with that Snaggletooth and Little Brandy that used to be on the show. Ooh, thank God they're gone. Ooh, I can't stand either one of them. But you know, she knows how it feels, and she feels bad for TT, and you know, they're not speaking, but JayWill tells her he thinks that she should reach out. And then they bring up the fact that he has an audition coming up for LA Pride, and he wants to audition, though, as JayWill, not as Candy. And Moniece tells him to go for it, like any supportive friend would. He's, you know, interested in becoming a rapper under his own name and not just under the caricature of Candy anymore. So Moniece tells him to go for it. A1 and Lyrica are in their Airbnb sulking. All their friends are being shady towards them. And, you know, A1, this is mostly your wife's fault. Lyrica, the minute you guys started having a problem, she started riding around Hollywood and getting it, spreading it low and busting it wide open, in my opinion. And now that you guys are back on the up and up, you just expect everybody to be happy for you guys because you don't know what she was doing. But Lyrica was in these streets. And as a result, your friends have a lot to say about her. And they just kind of feel like nobody's in their corner. You know, they have this great news that they're pregnant. But, I mean, yeah, it's great news for you guys, but everybody else is just confused, you know? And it's hard for them to be happy for each other right now, so they decide that they just want to ice the world out and just, you know, be there for each other. Like, it was such a fake deep scene, like, just be there for each other. And, you know, but A1 does say he wants to confront Ray J, because he still feels like Ray J has not been a great friend to him in the situation. So Teairra and her boobs, because those titties look great in her confessional. They are sitting up nice. I mean, her boobs look great in the confessional. But she's saying how, like, as you guys know, every time I have to talk about this shit, it just takes all the life out of me. And I mean, it's kind of late. It's like 10:30. But that's not what it is. It's just like, it's painful for me because it's so fake. And I don't want to have to talk about a fake storyline. But like I said, it took up most of the episode, so I have to talk about it or else this video is going to be 5 minutes long. But the effects of, you know, the domino effect of this video being sent out is making Teairra want to drink. And I'm not trying to encourage the ill, but maybe you should start drinking because it might spice up your storyline, and then you wouldn't have to deal with Akbar anymore. You can go back to rehab or something. But Akbar is telling everybody that she released the tape herself. And I was like, yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. It was released on her Instagram page. She claims that he has her password. And I'm just like, mistake number 85. Why would you give a man that you've been like, okay, fine. If you want to give your significant other, emphasis on the word significant other, your password to social media, I'm all for that. In relationships, I think you should be as transparent as possible. However, her and Akbar could not have been dating very long, let alone long enough for this fool to have access to her passwords for her social media. I mean, Teairra is like let's say a U-list celebrity, like way down there. But, you know, somebody with somewhat of a name nonetheless. Why she would give this man her password is beyond me. But anyways, she, you know, he's telling everybody that she released it herself and she's fed up. And she goes to meet with the He-Man man-hater Lisa Bloom, the attorney to everybody that's ever had revenge porn. This is the same woman that represented Blac Chyna when Rob dragged her ass for filth. And, you know, she informs Teairra of her rights in the state of California. Revenge porn is a crime. So for all you out there that like to record sex, if your man or woman posts it online, hit up Lisa Bloom. She got you. She'll get you to do these embarrassing press releases, and, you know, it'll be all good. But, you know, even as Teairra's, like, recalling the situation to Lisa, it's very matter-of-factly. Like, she's not acting like this. I'm telling you guys, if my vagina, if I was on the internet blowing somebody with their jizz on my face, There's no way I would be as calm, cool, and collected as Teairra is being, which hints to me a fake ass storyline. But Lisa's like, we're gonna do a press conference and we're gonna get ahead of this story and tell it in your own words. And that's just PR 101. Get in front of the story and again, in the words of Funky Dineva, shout out to Funky Dineva. In the words of Funky Dineva, don't let somebody spray you with your own tea. So that's what she's doing with Lisa. So, Solo Lucci, Brooke, and Marcus are at a day party, aka fake ass scene that Brooke and Marcus threw. This is not nobody's day party. I have been to day parties in LA, and although it is at a pool and there seems to be a bar there, all the people there just look like extras that were hired for this scene. There's no music, nothing. And on reality TV, when people are out and about and there's music and it's popping, they'll kind of dub over the music with the voice. We could hear them clear as day. So I'm not sure where the party was at in this day, but they announced to Solo Lucci their engagement. And Brooke tells all of Lyrica's business to Solo, and he's confused as fuck, which doesn't surprise me because Solo Lucci looks to me like he does all the drugs. Like, somebody could say, yo, I got syrup, yeah, I'm down, let's do it, let's do it. I got some coke, line it up, snort it on up. Like, he does not look like he discriminates at all, so I'm not surprised that he's confused. But he thinks that the guys all need to get together and talk and have bro time and get down to the bottom of this. And I'm just like, how much more down to the bottom of it can you guys get? Lyrica was hoeing. Like, that's the issue. A1, the sooner you come to terms with that, the better friends you can be with your buddies. Like, it's really that simple. But they also bring up Teairra's press conference or whatever she announced on Instagram, which I briefly remember when it happened, and basically how inconsistent her story was. Like, she's still saying she loves this guy. She talked to him the previous day. And I promise you, if someone leaked a sex tape of me giving a blowjob, I would sick my mom on them. Because for those of you that don't know, my mom is a G. Like, I would stick Renee all over that ass. All of my goon ass cousins, that don't got shit to lose, they would get notified. My brother, maybe hire a hitman. Like, you're gonna feel me after you do something like that. But she's talking to him the next day. So yeah, again, I don't believe that she did not know that this was gonna happen. She's not mad at all. And, they're confused as well as I. Like, Brooke, Marcus, and Solo, they're confused, and I am as well. So, the next scene is Ray J. He's shooting pool with Rockstar, and Ray J is already getting a dad bod. Like, his baby's not even born yet at this point, and he's got this belly poking out, and that was interesting. So, they talk about how filthy Hollywood is and how everybody that's around them is filthy, and I'm just like, Ray J, you're filthy, and so is the nigga that you're hanging out with. Like, Rockstar, I feel like I need a shower after every single one of his scenes. So, it's like, hey, pot, meet kettle. We're both black. Like, Rockstar brings up Teairra's sex tape, and mum was the word with Ray J, because he's no stranger to that life. You better ask Miss West. He know all about that. So, he didn't say nothing at all, because he had no room. But Ray J ends up filling Rockstar in on the Safari drama, which I'm surprised Motormouth Lyrica hadn't already told him about that, since she was running and telling all her business to him earlier in the season. But at that point, Rockstar had some receipts of conversations that he had with Lyrica in text message. And, I've been saying all season that those 2 episodes where Lyrica was acting all friendly with Rockstar were gonna backfire on her, and it's like rule number 110. When you and your man are on a break and you're in the streets acting less than, savory, don't send incriminating text messages. niggas are just as bad as girls. They're just as messy. They don't even really try to hide it anymore. Like, you know, Chris Brown is in a new beef with some other dude every other day. Well, not lately, but you get what I'm saying. Like, these guys are just as petty and just as messy and like to keep receipts and be in the gossip as much as bitches. Exhibit A. These niggas can't stop talking about A1 and Lyrica, you know. So he brings up the text messages, and Lyrica is being inappropriate in the same way that I believe she was being inappropriate with Safari. She mentions that she's not wearing her ring. Don't tell A1. And it's just like a sleazeball like Rockstar lives for this kind of shit. You know, he was totally getting off on it. And I'd like to say I was right, you guys. Like, I told you that this shit with Lyrica and how she was running around town telling Rockstar all her business was gonna backfire on her. So, Ray J tells Rockstar that Lyrica's pregnant, and they jokingly say that it may or may not be a Maury situation, which may or may not be the case, you know, like, who we really don't know at this point, because Lyrica was giving it, well, I don't know if she was giving it to everybody, but she was entertaining it to everybody. So JayWill and Britney, you know, she's back. They go to the Pride audition, and I noticed, I follow JayWill on social media. I have for a long time, and I know he mentioned that he works at the Olive Garden, and clearly he was on a break, because I'm a frequenter of the Olive Garden. I know that uniform, and he had his whole getup on. But, you know, working people, no shame in that whatsoever. Britney's performance, I mean, the judges like it, but what I'm about to say, take it how you want, but I stand by it. I have nothing against gay people. In fact, I love gay people, but gay people, when it comes to music, are a lot like Europeans. Like, you know, in my opinion, not at all particular at times. So, I'm not surprised that they thought her performance was good. But, Mr. Ray's confessional look, like, were those individual braids? Oh, like, I don't know if you guys remember Ray from College Hill, but that's what I remember him from. That a show that used to come on BET, and he's just as terrible and extra as he was back then. And I just think he's messy, and I'm just not here for him. But his confessional look in this scene was just a lot. But JayWill's performance, although it wasn't terrible, it wasn't for Pride. And I did agree with Mr. Ray. Like, I think they wouldn't have had a problem with him performing as JayWill if he wouldn't have performed a Kendrick Lamar-esque type song. Like, the song was like about struggling to make it and stuff like that. And JayWill, I don't know if you've ever been to Pride, dear, but that's not what they're trying to hear. They're trying to wear their assless chaps, or, you know, yeah, they're show their ass cheeks and wear their Village People feathers and rainbow shirts and party to like Kylie Minogue. They're not trying to hear about the struggle, and that's no shade. That's just true tea. Like, even in the club or something, like, yeah, I like Kendrick Lamar, but I'm not trying to hear, like, If These Walls Could Talk in the club. You know, it just is what it is. So I think he missed the mark there, and the judges agreed, and he ended up getting really defensive. They compared his performance to Britney's, but not compared it in a way where it was like, oh, she was better than you, but just, you know, her performance was much more upbeat, and he immediately took it offensively and started throwing shade at her, threw shade at one of the judges, and then insulted them by saying they didn't have enough money to book him anyway, and he kind of exited the stage, and that was the end of that. So Teairra meets up with Paris at a restaurant, says that she's humiliated and she's been, you know, hiding from the world, and I'm just like, you actually haven't, Teairra. You've been making these iOS press releases and shit like that. You're pretty visible, babe. But she, you know, she stands by the fact that she didn't release this tape, which, okay, girl. And Paris called her out. You know, Paris to me is a good friend. I was skeptical of Paris in the beginning because I had heard that she stole, you know, from K. Michelle and stuff. But she's a good friend. She called Teairra out on the contradictions and was like, I don't understand how you can still be in communication with somebody that did you so dirty, according to you. And Teairra, just like a dummy, I'm just confused. I don't understand. I'm in my feelings right now, one day to the next, and just like, Or you're just like, yeah, Akbar, so this is going exactly as planned. Don't worry. I'm not really going to sue you for money. I'm going to drop this case and say we settled out of court. Like, guarantee you, by the reunion, we find out that they settled out of court, or I didn't think it wasn't worth it. I just wanted to be done and move on with my life. Some PR bullshit she's going to sell us. But Teairra tells Paris about the lawsuit. And Paris is like, oh, you suing people. Okay. And Teairra asks where Nikki's at and questions her loyalty. And honestly, she's like, she was around for the bullshit with all the tea, but when I need her, she's not here. And it's like, yeah, Teairra, because she probably doesn't believe you either. Like, this is stupid. And nobody wants to get caught up in this bullshit. Okay, yeah, she works in the erotica business, but that doesn't mean she wants her face plastered all over with your ass, because she probably knows you're lying and doesn't want to be grouped into that bullshit. So anyways, we go to the guys' night scene, and it's no, Safari's not there, but it's Ray J, Solo Lucci, and Marcus. And then A1 walks in, and he's just looking like the world is on his shoulders. Those dreads looked awfully heavy. His nail polish might have been cracked a little bit. He's got a lot going on in the head. And he says hello to everybody but Ray J. And he says that Ray J was shady for the way he's been acting in this situation, which Ray J's been acting a little messy, but how is this any different than any other time Ray J acts? Like, he's always messy. He's also very vagina-ish when it comes to the tea. But Solo just blurts out, look, man, he fucked your girl. Safari fucked your girl. And I'm just like, sir, I know that you like to do all the drugs, but if you don't shut up and sit down somewhere, like, we weren't ready for that yet. But it just pops off after that, and Ray J was like, A1, you taking your anger out on the wrong one. Ray J's real smooth and suave when he talks. Like, you taking your anger out on the wrong one. And he tells him basically he could catch the fade, which is the most Cali thing I've ever heard. That and hella, like, are two Cali phrases. Do people say catch the fade or catch my fade in other places? Drop down in the comments and let me know. But Ray J tells A1 he can catch his fade, aka you can get these hands, aka we can fight. And Ray J tells him that everyone is talking about it, not just him. He's just the only one that's telling A1 about it, which is true. Clearly if Solo Lucci knew, because he claims that he heard it, Rockstar heard it, or whatever. Other people have heard this, and he tells him then at that point to holla at Rockstar, and I was like, ooh, bitch, I was ready, and neither was A1 for that. And it's just like some niggas, like, they just start going back and forth, and like, nah, you can really catch the fade though, my nigga, like, no, you acting out of pocket, my nigga, the security's holding me back though, so what you trying to do? It was just like, oh my god. Look, Ray J, you and your dad bod, you're not going to do shit. A1, you got 4 security guards on you. You're clearly not doing shit. Go home and try to fight each other another time. But Ray J did say one thing that rang true, and he was like, you out here looking crazy. And I said in episode 4, Lyrica got you in the streets looking crazy. You're mad at all the wrong people. You need to be mad at your wife in the unicorn wig and not at these people, because they're just being niggas. Like, if there's something to be talked about, niggas are going to talk about it. And that's exactly what's happening. And Ray J, in a very patronizing tone, tells him, go home and get some rest, bro. Go home and get some rest and think about it. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. So drop down in the comments and let me know what you guys thought of this. Let me know if you think niggas be acting like bitches too, because they do. And I've seen this happen with guys in my life and stuff. Like, they get off on the T just as much as the girls do. But make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click on the bell so you don't miss a notification. And I think this week I'm going to do Pretty Little Mamas again. And I think that might be it. I'm contemplating on Black Ink Black Ink New York with C's in them. But we'll see. That's TBD, because that show's extra fake too. And it's just like a lot. So anyways, leave me a comment. Stop by and say hi, and I'll see you on the next review. Have a good night.